with Chris O'Keefe on 2GB.
All right, if you've been driving around Sydney lately, chances are you've seen a pothole, right? They're everywhere. 131873. Where is the worst potholes? Where are the worst potholes, I should say? Because after so much rain, there's potholes everywhere. And one Canterbury resident got in touch with us and they said, Chris, I'm a resident of Canterbury Bankstown. We have an issue you need to raise with the mayor. Canterbury Bankstown LGA has a major issue with potholes, and I'm talking about huge potholes. This council doesn't fix them. They don't care. We have traffic issues. Some suburbs look like rubbish tips, and some suburban council ranges are nowhere to be seen to enforce parking. But the big concern is the dangerous potholes that are left everywhere. Well, we asked Canterbury Bankstown for a statement. Didn't receive anything back. Anyway, Steve from Wollongong also got in touch. So it's not just a Sydney issue. Steve said, Chris, it's pothole season down here in the Gong. Well, Steve's on the line. Steve, g'day.
G'day, Chris.
So there's a shocker, 1 metre square and near a foot deep. Where's that one?
Yeah, it's actually in a service road of a large car park area that hundreds of cars would pass through it each day. It's pretty much adjacent to the Princess Highway and Mount Ousley Road. And there's been, over the past few months, there's been some very large potholes, bigger than that one there, and it seems to take weeks and weeks to get repaired. So, yeah, I feel sorry for the people that would hit it at even at a low speed.
So it would have a pretty significant impact on your car if you hit it.
Oh, definitely. On the outside of that car park area, I exited the roundabout one night and there was a pothole there, but night time, full of water, and I hit it and it cracked my alloy oil. And I notified the council and they said it was borderline from their responsibility to the private car park entry. So
I've done this before, Steve, where they go, oh, no, that's almost on the driveway, so that's up to the people who own the property to fix up, yada, yada, yada. Ultimately, though, right. have you found that in your experience that Wollongong Council can drag its feet when it comes to fixing these things?
I don't get a final response from them, but I reported this one through the Snap and Save thing or whatever it's called, and they notified that it's on for them to have a look at, to fix, but I think they'll end up saying, no, we're not fixing it. It's up to the private owners of the car park area.
Steve, I appreciate your call and I appreciate you getting in touch with us, okay?
No worries, Chris.
Good on you, mate. Steve. Steve's at Wollongong. Peter Curry from the NRMA is on the line for us now. Pete, it's a bugbear of a lot of drivers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's going to get worse. We've just had 2 weeks of solid rain. So whatever people are experiencing now, expect it, unfortunately, to just continue to deteriorate right across the state because not only when you have sustained periods of rain do you start to get potholes, but small potholes very quickly become big ones. And until it stops raining, the councils just can't get their crews out to fix them.
If you have significant damage to your car, like we heard from Steve there, who is liable if it is the pothole responsible?
So the legislation around who is responsible and who you can sue is difficult to work your way around. There's a fair bit of ambiguity, which is obviously what you need when we're talking about laws. Basically, the way it works is this: you need to notify the council of the fact that there's a pothole in their LGA that they need to fix. They then need to have a reasonable amount of time or period of time when they can actually get their crew out to fix it. Now, reasonable amount of time means they need, like I said, a sustained period of dry weather because you can't fix these things in the wet. And then you need even longer to do what they call a permanent fix. So they can go in and do some patchwork to stop the damage to your vehicle. But then they need even longer to fix it properly and to provide a more sustained fixed to the pothole. So, long story short, it's very difficult. If you're looking for someone to sue, it's really hard because it just doesn't work like that. The expectation is you've got to give the councils as much time as possible. They have limited revenue. They've got limited maintenance crews, and outside of Sydney and in the greater Sydney areas where there's huge amounts of bitumen that they have to look after, it gets even harder for them. So there's revenue issues, there's maintenance crew issues, and then they've got the weather as well.
It's expensive?
Very expensive. So there's a direct correlation between the amount of rain you get, the potholes and the size of the potholes, and the number of people who call the NRMA to come out and fix their cars because they've driven into one of them. So the most basic level is if they've just popped a tyre, we can go out and replace the tyre on the side of the road. That's easy done. The problem you've got, which is the example your caller just gave, is when the size of the pothole is so big that it causes structural damage to the actual vehicle. And that can be thousands of dollars to fix, and that becomes an insurance issue because we can't fix those on the side of the road. So really expensive to drivers if their cars are damaged. Also a safety risk. We shouldn't forget about that. And that's why we do encourage councils to, we've now got some dry weather, the sun's out for a few days, so make the most of it and try and get your maintenance crews out there as quickly as you can.
Peter Curry, as always, appreciate you coming on. Thanks so much.
Cheers, mate.
That's Peter Curry from the NRMA, 131873. Are there potholes in your area? Give us a call because there's plenty of texts here. Here's one, potholes. Well, Lara Street at Yonora, which is the Guildford area, looks like someone's done a mine clearing exercise. Well, Lara Street, I was just looking it up on Google Maps. It's right next to the railway line there and in the heart of an industrial precinct. So that wouldn't be much good for, I'm assuming there'd be lots of car detailers and that sort of thing if it's in and around Guildford. That's a shocker. Rebecca says, city roads are much better than regional roads. They weren't that good to start with and the rain has made it worse. Rates will go up, but we still have crap roads. Tim says, Durham Road at Schofields. They wait ages. They fixed them badly. They're no good a couple of weeks or even one lot of rain later. Just our cheap work instead of good repairs. Aaron says, Wollongong Council. We've got a saying down here. They just fence it and forget it. Colin's at Clovelly. Hello, Colin.
Yeah, g'day, mate. How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
I'm just ringing to say that I actually use an app called Waze, which you can actually put the potholes into it so that when you're driving along, it comes up with a thing that says pothole, so you don't actually end up running into it with your car. So anyway, it's just what I use, and we've got a few potholes in Coogee and Clovelly, not bad ones, but they're ones that if you hit them at any sort of, like 40k or something, they make a bit of a dent in your alloy wheel.
So that's Waze, W-A-Y-Z-E.
That's the one. Yeah. But I'm promoting the app. I've got no financial interest in the thing, but I've found it really good with this pothole thing over the last few days because otherwise at night you can't see them.
Colin, I'm with you. I appreciate your call. And Waze, I've used Waze before for a whole bunch of reasons. I think they do a very good job. 131873. Keith's at Alexandria. Hello, Keith.
G'day, Chris. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Keith.
Potholes. They were banging on my backside. I hit one back outside of Blaney in January, doing 100k, snapped my camshaft.
Oh, really? What'd that cost you?
10 grand.
Ooh, would have been a good pothole to snap it.
I was doing 100k when I hit it. I couldn't see it. It was at 8:45 at night. I had two cars overtake me at the time.
Did you get in touch with? That'd be Bathurst Council, wouldn't it?
No, it was Blaney Council. Spoke to Blaney,
right?
And they said since it was on Midwestern Highway, it's a state road, so it's state government.
So, did you get in touch with Transport?
Yeah, I'm putting a claim in. I haven't finished the claim yet.
Yeah, okay. All right, Keith, I appreciate that. You're lucky you didn't end up rolling the car or something. That's the other part. They're not just dangerous for your property, but they're dangerous for drivers more broadly. 131873. You tell me, where are the shocking potholes and what's your council like trying to get them to fix it? 20 past 4. Hey, it's 24 past 4, and it's a great time to manage your day-to-day business and scale for new opportunities with the simple cash flow solutions from CommBank. Search CommBank Cashflow 131873. Now, just on the pothole situation, I've got Aaron who's called in from Wollongong. G'day, Aaron.
How you going, Chris?
Shocking down there, right?
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. And, a problem arises, and then council's way to fix it is they throw up a fence and then they leave for, 12 months, 24 months, and we'll come and fix it later.
Have you had your own experiences there, Aaron, trying to contact Wollongong Council to fix stuff, and what? You just don't get any response?
No response. I've, sent a snap and solve to them, said, look, this is quite dangerous. There could be a collision here between pedestrian and cars. And it just sort of gets ignored. So it's not good enough, and they might want to, the councillors down there might want a reminder that the elections are coming up in September. So
aren't they just? Good on you, Aaron. I appreciate your call, 131873. I just got a text here too saying might cause damage to a tyre or broken rim. This is Matt. He says, I ride a motorbike and dodging potholes can be a matter of life and death. Good point, Matt. Brian has called in too. G'day, Brian.
Yeah, hello.
You're in Wollongong too, Brian.
Yeah, just in relation to that one in the at the entrance to the car park in Wollongong there. I work across the road in the tyre shop, and we've got a bit of work out of that pothole. It's been repaired now, but it was good for business for us.
Really?
Yeah. So
what kind of damage would it do to the cars, Brian?
Oh, mostly it popped the tyres.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
the tyre replacements. We did get some rim damage, but mainly popping tyres because it was a really big pothole. That one was there for a while.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate your call. Jack's in Manly. G'day, Jack.
How you going?
Good, thanks, Jack.
Yeah, I'd just like to say we should get all the registered vehicles owners together and start a class action against the government for forcing us to drive on unsafe roads.
You have you had some experience?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, that's what would happen. You wouldn't expect people to work in an unsafe building site, would you? There'd be a couple of lawsuits going there if someone broke their leg or fell off the side of the building and died. Why should we put up with that by making our roads unsafe for us to drive on?
Well, Jack, you can start it up. I'm sure you'll get plenty of support behind it. 131873. Have a good afternoon. Grant's at Belrose. Grant, g'day.
G'day, Chris. I've noticed on a couple of the side streets, people have been putting fluoro paint around the potholes, so at least you notice them when you're coming up to them. So that's the side street, but the main drag on the road, like Forest Way, you got one as big as the Grand Canyon. There's nothing done, so you can't move. You're stuck, and you have to hit it. Because you got a car on either side. But if the council went and did something like that, I know it's a quick fix, but at least you're warning when you're coming up against it.
Yeah, it's a good point, Grant, and especially the bigger ones that are absolutely going to do damage, not just to cars, but like Matt said, motorbikes can throw you off pretty quick. So I reckon that is a good proposal. Good on you, Grant. Alf is at Ropes Crossing. Hello, Alf.
Yeah, g'day, Chris. About 2 years ago in a car that we had, we put brand new Pirelli tyres. About 3 months after that, in the rain at night, we hit this pothole and damaged the front left tyre. So I rang up the council, happened to be Penrith Council the next day, and they said, I will told them about it. They said, I told them that there was a big pothole, and they said, we'll send a crew out. And I said, so you guys are responsible for that pothole? And she said, yep, we're responsible. So I said, that's good. Who's going to pay me for my new tyre, brand new Pirelli tyre? She took off. She went, had me on hold for about 2 minutes. She said, oh, well, if you can get a receipt for the new tyre and show us the old one with a little note from the tyre people saying it was our pothole, we'll pay for the tyre. And that's exactly what they did.
Really?
So Council, yeah.
How long ago was this, Alf?
This was about 2-3 years ago, and the reason I think why they paid for it was because I just rang up. I told her, look, I ride a motorbike, blah, blah, blah. This can be dangerous. It was quite a big pothole. It was the one that on Forrester Road, just near St Mary's Leagues, but just opposite the 7-Eleven there, and quite a big pothole. And it just shook the whole car. Tyre went down. Luckily, we were near home. And so I said, look, there's a big pothole here, very dangerous. I ride a motorbike. A motorcyclist can go through it. They said, yep, we'll send the crew out. I said, oh, that's good. So you guys are responsible. She said, oh, yeah, we'll fix it. Don't worry about that. I said, well, no, hang on, before you go. Blah, blah, blah. I've got brand new tyres on this car, and it's just threw the tyre out. Who's going to fix it? And like I said, she must have gone and spoke to someone. Awesome. She comes back and she said, give us the receipt.
Where credit's due. Good on Penrith Council for paying up. If it's their responsibility, they left the pothole there. It was their responsibility to clean it up. They hadn't. You came a cropper. It cost you money, and they reimbursed you. That's how it should happen. Good on you, Alf. I've got to keep moving. Let's go to Neil at Wetherill Park. Hello, Neil.
Good, Chris. How are you?
Good, thanks, Neil.
One of the previous, I think it was the NRMA, said something that council need time to find the pothole and fix it. What about the M4 between Silverwater and the Cumberland Highway? There's some potholes there that have been there for over 12 months.
Well, that'd be part of WestConnex now, so that'd be Transurban, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but you're paying a toll and you're hitting potholes. I mean, where's that fair?
It's not fair. You know what, Neil? I might raise that. I might raise that with the guys at Transurban, because you're absolutely right. If they're the ones...
How's your internet? Do you get buffering, dropouts, and have to wait ages for downloads? Well, you could be on the wrong NBN plan. Data usage in Australia has tripled in just 7 years, yet most are still stuck on our old plan. So it might be time to change. Check out if you can get full fibre to the home. It allows speeds 18 times faster than NBN's standard plan. Find out if you can get it. Google NBN Check Your Address.
One's operating it. It should be their responsibility to maintain the roadway, and you can't have potholes on something you pay for.
Well, worse than that, I've got a busload of seniors from an aged care facility, and I wake them all up every time I hit them. You want a busload of angry residents?
No, you don't want that. You don't want that. Hey, no. Neil.
But I mean, I now know where in the lane to be to avoid all these potholes, because they've been there for over 12 months.
Well, I'll make sure Transurban get on top of that. Between Silverwater and the Cumberland Highway turn-off on the M4, you reckon?
Yes,
good
exactly.
On you. All right, Neil. Hey, by the way, I've got a double pass to Death of a Salesman at the Theatre Royal for you.
Oh, my daughter would love that.
Make sure you go and enjoy it. It's the legend, of course, Anthony LaPaglia. He's starring in it, one of the most iconic plays of the 20th century, Death of a Salesman. Book, theatreroyalsydney.com. But the big concern is the dangerous potholes that are left everywhere. Well, we asked Canterbury Bankstown for a statement. Didn't receive anything back. Anyway, Steve from Wollongong also got in touch. So it's not just a Sydney issue. Steve said, Chris, it's pothole season down here in the Gong. Well, Steve's on the line. Steve, g'day.
G'day, Chris.
So there's a shocker, 1 metre square and near a foot deep. Where's that one?
Yeah, it's actually in a service road of a large car park area that hundreds of cars would pass through it each day. It's pretty much adjacent to the Princess Highway and Mount Ousley Road. And there's been, over the past few months, there's been some very large potholes, bigger than that one there, and it seems to take weeks and weeks to get repaired. So, yeah, I feel sorry for the people that would hit it at even at a low speed.
So it would have a pretty significant impact on your car if you hit it.
Oh, definitely. On the outside of that car park area, I exited the roundabout one night, and there was a pothole there, but night time, full of water, and I hit it and it cracked my alloy oil. And I notified the council, and they said it was borderline from their responsibility to the private car park entry. So
I've done this before, Steve, where they go, oh, no, that's almost on the driveway, so that's up to the people who own the property to fix up, yada, yada, yada. Ultimately, though, right. have you found that in your experience that Wollongong Council can drag its feet when it comes to fixing these things?
I don't get a final response from them, but I reported this one through the Snap and Save thing or whatever it's called, and they notified that it's on for them to have a look at, to fix, but I think they'll end up saying, no, we're not fixing it. It's up to the private owners of the car park area.
Steve, I appreciate your call and I appreciate you getting in touch with us, okay?
No worries, Chris.
Good on you,
Thanks, mate.
Steve. Steve's at Wollongong. Peter Curry from the NRMA is on the line for us now. Pete, it's a bugbear of a lot of drivers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's going to get worse. We've just had 2 weeks of solid rain. So whatever people are experiencing now, expect it, unfortunately, to just continue to deteriorate right across the state, because not only when you have sustained periods of rain do you start to get potholes, but small potholes very quickly become big ones. And until it stops raining, the councils just can't get out crews out to fix them.